DML team, you've already crashed us into the iceberg. I don't know if you've noticed yet, but the DML player base is currently pissed. Not the drunk type of pissed, but the very much angry and disappointed type pissed. I've seen a very small portion of the let's ignore everything is wrong crowd try to tell everyone else in the player base that we should be grateful to our Gameloft overlords for providing us with an event that we don't like, and that we should keep spending even if we don't like the event because otherwise the game's gonna die. And I'm here to say no. We absolutely do not need to be happy, accepting, or pleased about something that we do not want and do not enjoy. I can only speak for myself. However, you can take a look on any of DML's social media pages, even Facebook, which is notorious for having lots of players that don't really criticize the game very often, being full of players complaining about the newest event, even on unrelated posts. Not even complaining, saying that they think that this current grid event is the worst event of all time. And that's not just Facebook, that's YouTube, Discord, and any other social media that you can find yourself on with a DML community there. The problem is, it's not like the Tyrant event was even the start of this. Things started to go really wrong from the second that the energy system was changed. But at that time, we'd just made our way over the icy water, problems that had grown over the years that maybe many ignored, changes that weren't ideal for anyone, but we stepped foot on the ship in hopes that maybe it would continue to be a good time later on. And then we got Treasure Hunt, an event that many see as the true beginning of the end. An event completely devoid of any skill, an event completely reliant on RNG, an event where it isn't even possible to use your hard-earned, saved-up gem resources because the only way to even guarantee the major reward was to spend real money. This was the moment that gems began to lose their value as a currency. We had divine and ancient events to keep us partially satiated, although Dungeon made some players, myself included, want to uninstall because of how unbelievably boring it is. But at least we had an option of grinding if we really wanted to use our teams that took years to build and use up hundreds of our gems just to get the major reward dragon. We had to log in every 6 hours, every single day for an entire month, close to every 2 months, but at least we could guarantee what we wanted for a time. Now, we can't do that. The truth is, our metaphorical DML ship already crashed into the iceberg at some point recently, but we don't know exactly when. When did everyone else suddenly start saying that they were looking to quit soon? When did some of these whales, these top spot DCP leaderboard scorers, suddenly stop playing? When did it happen? Why is it happening? Well, partly it's because players just don't feel rewarded or interested anymore. Why would we waste our time getting 1 Tyrant max when we used to get 4 or 5 Ancients or Divines before? When we could go play a different game and get 10 times the value for way less grind, stress, and maybe we don't have to spend a thing? When did we go from getting calendar events that gave us free Divines to now being grateful to grind an entire month for 1 new dragon? Of which we won't be able to include in our teams for months anyway because they never fixed the arena or food earning methods. And before you say, well, if you don't like the game then stop playing, you'll find that that's exactly what I have been doing. Between the last Ancient event and this Tyrant event, the only time I logged in was to breed the Dragon of the Month. The only reason I'm playing the current Tyrant event is to give it as fair of a shot as I can and see if all of our skepticism was either correct or if we were just too judgmental before the event was released. Turned out it was worse. Far worse than I ever could have imagined that it'd be. 2 weeks. That's how long I'm giving it before the ship really starts sinking. If Gameloft don't come out with an apology or some sort of promise that things will improve during the current Tyrant event, I don't see the game coming back from this. And I have never said that about this game before. All of the horrible, questionable decisions, the lack of responding to community feedback for things like the arena, we've stayed on this rickety ship, but never before has it seemed like it's tumbling straight into the Atlantic Ocean, but now that's how it feels to me. Players are annoyed, angry, and many are now unwilling to keep spending on anything in this game anymore. Are we holding out, hoping that the whales alone can keep this game alive, Gameloft? If you're not too sure that the whales can do it, maybe it's time to do some reevaluating before we all drown. As my closing statement, I'll be putting together a longer video at some stage detailing everything wrong with the grid event, and maybe DML in general, but right now, if I don't hear a promise that the current event's problems are going to be addressed, or at the very least that community feedback will actually be listened to regarding this event, very soon, my will to keep playing this game will finally reach to zero. Rather than logging in to Breed Dragons of the Month and see any new events, instead, I will go elsewhere. I'm not the only person that matters, I am just one of many thousands. But that's just how bad this game has gotten that I can no longer continue to support something so unfun, so RNG reliant, and so utterly capable of being so much more, that because of the way it's handled, they refuse to update after update.